Hi, welcome to the Healthy Being by Melissa channel. I'm Melissa Gallagher, and today I wanted to talk to you about feeling tired but wired. This is a major dilemma for all men and women, but particularly I'm going to address women's health today. If you are feeling tired but wired, a lot of it has to do with feeling stress and fatigued and hormonally imbalanced. And what does that really mean? So let's break down stress as one of the major issues. Stress, at least what I've seen in my practice with my female clients, stress is at the root of all issues and ailments that we are dealing with, from chronic fatigue to a lot of autoimmune disorders. It has a lot to do with the stress hormone we call cortisol. We know the adrenals, which are part of the glandular system. Those are the glands responsible for producing adrenaline, fight or flight, or chronic cortisol levels. And that's from serious stress that is in our life. So if you run a business or an executive or a mom or all of those and then some, what we deal with is the effects of stress long term is very detrimental to our health. And what happens is adrenal fatigue tends to be the byproduct of chronic stress. And high cortisol levels can quickly transition to low cortisol levels. And I do a lot of saliva testing with my clients, and so we could get to the root of that. But that's something that is at the root of feeling tired but wired. Significant adrenal fatigue can present itself in racing heart flutters. It can present itself with imbalanced sleep or irregular sleep cycles. It can present itself in weight gain, especially in the midsection and around the butt and the thighs. That's very classic. And a lot of times I will have a woman come in and she's gained 5 or 10 pounds and just can't get it off. But that is from stress. So the stress ends up leading to fatigue, and that's where it can affect our mental health. Women might feel depressed, and they might feel like they just can't mentally focus, that they are forgetful for some reason or have brain fog. It's all interrelated. So that's one of the things that we can address by really getting to the root cause of the fatigue, and it's looking at the stress hormone, the cortisol levels, and then creating a tailored, targeted program to balance that out. The third thing is in that series or the cascade, the stress leads to fatigue, the fatigue leads to additional hormone imbalance. One of the first things that we often see getting tested are the thyroid levels, and those levels can be brought down or skewed by adrenal stress, adrenal fatigue, and that is from that chronic cortisol production by the body when we are in a highly stressed out state. And to be honest with you, I will ask many of my clients when they come in, and it always cracks me up because I'll say, how are you feeling? What's your stress level? And they'll go, oh, I'm not stressed. But then we actually break it down. And ladies, if you're out there and you don't think you're stressed, I'm gonna say you are, because we can tend to take on a lot, and you might not even realize just how intense that impact is until you really start to make a list and literally look at all the responsibilities you have, all of the things that you have got to get done on a day-to-day basis, and then also the physiological stress, the stress of the body. If you are at a desk and you have tight shoulder muscles, that's stress on your body. If you're in a relationship where you're not happy and not feeling fulfilled, that's stressful. Same thing when you are in a work environment and you're not feeling like your creativity is being embraced or you're being valued, that creates stress. And all of those things lead to this cascade of feeling fatigued and then hormonally imbalanced. And we'll see that presenting with irregular cycles, heavy menstrual cycles where there's a lot of clotting and cramping. We'll even see that in extreme weight gain or cystic conditions in both the breast tissue as well as the ovaries. And I will admit, I'm the first one to admit that I am pretty high stress. I'm an A driver type of personality, and for a lot of those that are A drivers, that tends to be one of our downfalls of juggling and taking on a lot. And through my work as a natural health practitioner and being in the world of healing, I have to first take care of myself so that I can be an embodiment of that for my clients. And there are times and moments where I get highly stressed. I've been in some, not very healthy relationships with folks that were not supportive, and have had to make conscious decisions to put my health and my well-being as a priority. And I hope you will as well. I think it's something that a lot of women, we do, not in a martyrdom way, but it's something that we will put everybody else first. And it's just like the saying when you get on an airplane, they tell you if you have an emergency, the things come down and you put something over your face and you breathe air so you can help everybody else. The same goes for your health. So I hope you'll consider looking at the reasons why you might be feeling tired and wired, at really boiling down to your stress levels. So there's 3 things I want to recommend for you today that will at least get you on the path for addressing this. The first thing is I want you to think about looking at or measuring your cortisol levels. There's a lot of saliva tests that you can take. My best recommendation and what's really effective for my client base is if you do a 24-hour sample. It's saliva, and you get these little vials and you do a saliva test. Those are kits that I offer to my clients. So that's the first thing. Really get a sense of where those cortisol levels are, because you really won't know until you get it. Sometimes high cortisol level and low cortisol levels will all measure the same way. And so that gives us accuracy. The second thing I want to recommend is to start to include an adaptogenic herb in your regimen, your daily supplement regimen. There's 2 actually that I love. The first one is called rhodiola. It's spelled Rhodiola. And rhodiola is a great herb that helps your body manage mental and physical fatigue, and actually supports and enhances and increases your stress. It minimizes the stress, enhances your energy level and your capacity to deal with the day-to-day life that you have to live. The second one is maca. And maca is usually available in a powder. I put it in my smoothies, and I'll even bake with it. Maca is great for helping to balance and adapt your body to the different stress that it's going to deal with on an environmental basis. And then the third thing I want you to look at doing is starting to do meditation. Check out this guy. His name is David J.I. He's with the Chopra Center. I love him as a starter meditation series, and meditating will actually minimize your stress in such an amazing way, and I'm so excited to present that to you. So if you have any questions, feel free down below, ask any questions, tell us a little bit more about what stress you're experiencing or how you think it might be feeling. I welcome a lot of dialogue and discussion, because everybody is totally different, but at the root of everything, as I've seen, is stress. And so it's how do we deal with stress and